Arborist Podcast, Domain 2, Episode 7, Irrigation Principles for Trees, Applying Water Effectively and Responsibly. Welcome back to the Arborist Podcast, and this podcast is designed to help you study for the ISA Arborist Certification Exam by breaking down arboriculture topics into clear, practical explanations you can actually use. As always, this podcast is not affiliated with or endorsed by the International Society of Arboriculture. It's an independent educational resource created to support arborists preparing for the certification exam. In the last episode, we talked about how trees absorb and move water through their systems. Today, we're focusing on irrigation and how arborists can apply water in ways that support tree health rather than create additional problems. Irrigation is a common exam topic because improper watering is one of the most frequent causes of tree stress. Why irrigation matters? Irrigation is meant to supplement natural rainfall. It is not about keeping soil constantly wet. It is about providing adequate moisture to support root function without limiting oxygen availability. Many tree problems blamed on drought are actually caused by poor irrigation practices. Understanding irrigation principles helps arborists prevent stress rather than react to symptoms. Trees are not lawns, and one of the most important irrigation concepts is that trees have different water needs than turf grass. Lawns are shallow-rooted and require frequent light watering. Trees have deeper and wider root systems and benefit from slower, deeper watering. Applying lawn-style irrigation to trees often leads to shallow rooting, poor aeration, and long-term stress. This distinction is emphasized on the ISA exam. Where to apply water? Water should be applied over the root zone, not at the trunk. The majority of absorbing roots are located in the upper soil layers and extend outward well beyond the canopy drip line. Focusing water at the base of the trunk does little to benefit the tree and can promote trunk and root collar issues. Effective irrigation targets the area where fine roots are actively growing. How much water is enough? The goal of irrigation is to moisten the soil to an appropriate depth without saturating it. The amount of water needed depends on soil texture, tree size, weather conditions, and site characteristics. Sandy soils require more frequent watering with smaller amounts. Clay soils require slower application and longer intervals between watering. There's no single schedule that works for all trees. Timing and frequency of irrigation. Infrequent deep watering encourages roots to grow deeper and improves drought tolerance. Frequent, shallow watering keeps roots near the surface and increases vulnerability to stress. Irrigation timing should also consider weather conditions. Watering during cooler parts of the day reduces evaporation losses. Monitoring soil moisture is more reliable than relying on fixed schedules. Overwatering and its consequences. Overwatering is just as damaging as underwatering. Excess water fills pore space, displaces oxygen, and limits root respiration. Symptoms of overwatering often resemble drought stress, including wilting and chlorosis. This makes accurate diagnosis especially important on the exam and in the field. Irrigation and newly planted trees. Newly planted trees require special irrigation attention. Because root systems are limited, these trees depend heavily on consistent soil moisture during establishment. However, even young trees need oxygen, and overwatering can slow root development. Gradual reduction of irrigation encourages roots to grow outward into surrounding soil. Irrigation in urban environments. Urban irrigation is often complicated by compacted soils, impervious surfaces, and altered drainage patterns. Runoff, poor infiltration, and uneven moisture distribution are common challenges. Arborists must adapt irrigation strategies to site limitations rather than relying on ideal conditions. Understanding these constraints helps arborists set realistic expectations with clients. This episode connects soil texture, structure, compaction, and tree water relations. Effective irrigation supports healthy root function only when soil conditions allow water and oxygen movement. Water management is always a balance. Let's recap the key points. Trees benefit from deep, infrequent watering that targets the root zone. Overwatering and improper placement are common causes of stress. Irrigation decisions should be based on soil conditions, not assumptions. In the next episode, we'll wrap up Domain 2 by focusing on managing soil problems in urban environments and applying everything we've learned so far. Thanks for listening to the Arborist Podcast. Let's keep building your arborist knowledge one topic at a time.